Hello there, all my wonderful friends out there in YouTube land. It's good to be back. I don't know if I'm going to be doing daily videos, but I am here and I've been wanting to make videos again because what I have going on right now is a 40-day juice fast. So no food, only drinking juices. This one is actually called the Lemon Ginger Blast. And I'll just give you the recipe real quick to this. It has in it 1 bunch of celery, 1 cucumber, 1 bunch of cilantro, 1 bunch of parsley, 2 green apples, a lemon, a thumb of ginger, a thumb of turmeric, and I also like to add a lime in mine. And I think this one has a little bit of pear, just for the heck of it. Amazing. So I'm drinking, this is a 32-ounce jar of this. I'm drinking 3 of these plus 3 citrus juices, which is any combination of citrus that you like. So 6 juices a day. In all honesty, sometimes it's 4, but the goal is 6 a day. And I'm on this juice fast and I am not eating food. So I'm getting to notice all of these beliefs coming up in my mind about food and cravings coming up for me about food. And I'm not eating though. I'm resisting the temptation. I did have like a handful of popcorn 2 different times early on. I just couldn't pass it up, but that's it. Like I literally haven't had a meal since the last day of April. And of course, as I get into thinking about all this stuff as it comes up for me, I turn to resources that I really respect. And so what I wanted to do was share a little bit of a reading from this person, Arnold Ehret. I remember talking about the mucusless diet healing system in a previous video when I was doing a series earlier on in our journey together. And I will definitely be making more videos talking about this. But what I've learned during this 23 days of not eating food and fasting and reading Arnold Ehret is that, okay, most people on this channel are Course in Miracles students and friends of mine as well. But in this spiritual community, in the Course in Miracles community, where my friend Tina Spalding is channeling Jesus, my friend Carol Morgan is channeling Xena, like we're paying attention to the highest vibrational information and wisdom that is available coming at us at a regular basis. And so I would say that we're awake. This community that I'm talking to right now is awake. So what I have learned during this fast is that the awake people have some blind spots. And that is a deeper place where the cleverness of the ego shows up once again. So we were all raised, if we were raised in a westernized society, which I think most of us are, we were raised to eat a particular way. There's different times of the day that you eat. There's this whole, variety of foods that you eat. Most of them are cooked. There's a lot of variation, people eating meat and starches and vegetables and opinions about fruit, too much fruit, not enough fruit, dried fruit, whatever, right? We have all these sort of different patterns in our upbringing around food. And what I'm learning by this man, Arnold Ehret, who I just absolutely adore, he did his experiments in his writing in the early 1900s. Back then, he was warning people about the coming hypnosis, essentially, mass formation psychosis because of confusion around diet. Back then, he knew that people were being led to believe that you'd eat a certain way and just sort of like accept it as gospel. So what he says in this little pamphlet right here, The Definite Cure of Chronic Constipation, he says that all disease, all of it, no matter what it's called, whether it's mental, physical, emotional, whatever, is a result of constipation. And that doesn't just mean in your bowels. However, that's a really big part, your digestive system, is, this place where so much happens. A lot of people say the immune system is in the digestive system, and, it is like a huge part of your body in terms of cleansing, which is the focus of what I'm doing right now with this fast. But he is claiming that all of the materials that are in your body, this mucus or any foreign material that we consume when we're eating or drinking, gets into your system and just screws everything up. And then we end up with pounds and pounds and pounds of this undigested, putrefying waste that we carry around with us. So all my friends out there that are amazing Course in Miracles students, that are so connected to God, so spiritually aware, have all your gifts and talents. You're out there channeling, you're doing Reiki healings, you're doing all this stuff. You may have some stuff inside of your body that is even still preventing you from going farther. And so I'm just like, blah. My thought is that I want to create an opportunity to teach people about how to get rid of all that muck that's in your system. I'm not suggesting that everybody has to automatically change their diet once you get cleaned out. However, getting cleaned out is super important, because regardless of what your age is, it's going to prevent disease and just give you this feeling of health and vitality that no matter what kind of diet you're experimenting with right now, I guarantee that once you release mucoid plaque from your body, as I have done during this fast, about 5 days straight, I pooped out these very long, rubbery, strangely shaped strands, and it was not poop. Like, it was this material. It's like gummy, it's hard, it's different colors. It's the shape of what, if something was like pasted onto the inside of your intestines and then pulled out, it's that shape. It's very different from taking a regular bowel movement. So if people cleared out their body of all of this muck and waste and kind of went through a reset, I believe that we could raise the vibration of the planet like 10 times higher, because there's powerful beings in this group. I know this. And what I'm doing right now, what I'm experimenting with, is like a level of connection with Source that I think is totally unprecedented. And because our clever ego wants us to think that we're so healthy because we're doing X, Y, and Z diet, and we're over here helping people, we've started our healing business. We left the corporate world and we're on this path, but we're still carrying around all these pounds of waste, you see? So I believe that there's just this next level that we can do in our physical bodies, because truly, this vessel that we're living in is the only possession that we truly have. It's the only thing we own, this body. This is it. You think you own all this other stuff, but do you really? And even with our bodies, we don't take it with us when we go, but why not make this vehicle the most pristine, exquisite, clean thing in the world, in our reality, okay? So before I jump off of here, I want to read you a little excerpt from Arnold Ehret's The Definite Cure of Chronic Constipation. Hopefully this is interesting to you and you're still with me. All right, this is just going to be a few minutes. Here we go. The Definite Cure of Chronic Constipation by Professor Arnold Ehret. The internal uncleanliness of man. Chronic constipation is the worst and most common crime against life and mankind. A crime unconsciously committed, and one whose full enormity is not yet fully realized. It stands accused of being one of the principal causative factors of all physical and mental diseases. I know as a fact from my practical experience with thousands of chronically diseased, that the life of man and the extent of his mental and spiritual capabilities are largely influenced by the very condition of the alimentary tract, which I guess is your digestive tract, your intestines, and colon. It is certainly very important that the brain and nerves of man are supplied with pure blood, and are not dependent on blood polluted with impurities arising from an unclean alimentary canal. Unclean is too mild of a word when we are dealing with the worst kind of filthy condition. It is a fact that man, the product of the present civilized society of this much vaunted advanced 20th century, is born unhealthy because his mother during pregnancy is almost invariably suffering from constipation. And I say further that while in this state, she usually eats 2 to 3 times as much as necessary. This causes the so-called normal, more or less healthy man to be somewhat encumbered from infancy. And to a much greater extent is the constipated one, who is loaded with such a mass of internal filth that it can only be called indescribable. His alimentary tract, reaching up from the mouth of his anus to his throat, is filled with morbid mucus, undigested, decayed, and retained food substances, all of which are in a state of fermentation and putrefaction. His intestines have never had a perfect cleansing during his entire life. At the conclusion of this discharge, the anus must be artificially cleansed, which shows that the internal walls of the intestines must also retain, after each passage, quantities of this same filth. I'll stop there. I'm sure I've said enough. I hope you all are doing well. I'm going to keep you posted on this fast. Like I said, I'm on day 23 of 40 days, and I have released a lot of this mucoid plaque that he's talking about here, this filth that I've had apparently since I was born, and it was quite an experience to release that, I will tell you. I've also had this desire to cleanse a lot of other things in my area, like I'm cleaning up more and I'm discarding things. I'm going through and like minimalizing my life. So it's amazing what this fast has done for me. But just these thoughts around how much better we could be if we all learned a little bit more about fasting and set an intention to remove this filth from inside of our bodies that chances are all of us are carrying. So much love to all of you. Have a great day, and I hope to see you back again soon.